Well, good morning, guys, and thank you so much for joining me this morning. I want to take this time to reflect on the reality of what's happening around us. And due to social media, this story is surfacing and spreading as it should. There was a young man who was 25 years old in Georgia who was murdered. His name is Ahmaud. And the reality is it's feuded in racial tensions. For many people, until a tragedy like this happens, no one talks about it. I want to use this time to just be real with you guys and just share my heart on the situation. I know personally firsthand what it looks like to be in that position. I also know that every person around me that is white or any other race doesn't always have racial tensions and racial issues. A lot of times, the fact that you don't have an issue with someone of a different color really could be a part of the problem instead of the solution. Not having an issue doesn't mean you don't have a voice. A lot of times when I think back over the life that I've lived and been blessed to have, I've seen a lot of situations, I've heard a lot of things, but I just want to bring you guys to the here and now of my reality and what happens on a day-to-day basis. No, by the grace of God, I haven't been shot and killed. And I pray that my sons never have to face that. But you know what I do face daily that I think feeds to that is that my wife can't go shopping without other people of her race asking her, where did you get them? The them is referring to her biological sons that she is the mother of, though they see standing next to her adopted son that is not her biological son. That's a tension that is so awkward, is so uncomfortable, and is so hurting and real for her every time she finds herself in that conversation with someone. For myself, I've served in churches for many years and tried to serve people very well. I've made mistakes. I will own that for sure. But there's always this cloud and this tension of how I carry myself, how I facilitate, and how I connect. Just recently, in the past 4 years, I was actually informed that the church that I was serving at was not ready for me. What does that mean? How was I to take that? What do I do with that? If I speak out about that, then who knows the result of what that means for me? I can only share these things with you guys because the reality is everyone is not racist. I understand that. But everyone has a voice to speak clearly and loudly against something that is hidden until tragedy comes and then it fades away. I know that we can prevent situations like this from happening, not from another podcast, not from another conversation. We've had a lot of conversation, but no changes and transitions, because when the tragedy passes, so does the subject. And then people like myself and those who walk in this situation, we have to hold it back and wait till something comes out of the fear of speaking up, because it'll just be passed along or it'll be labeled or put into a place that, well, that doesn't matter, or you're just. Today, I don't want that to be the case, nor tomorrow. I want us to take the opportunity to realize that yes, Jesus is love and Jesus can restore all things. I also believe that a lot of the racial tensions that we face have been fueled and still are within the walls of the church. That's a place where we should all be able to come together on one accord and be able to value each other and love each other. But unless we are allowing ourselves to subliminally send that message that we are unified, that we are loving each other, as well as intentionally doing it, then we will continue to see things like this happen. If we are supposed to speak life into lives of the enemy and brokenness and give Jesus to people, then guess what? We have to give it to people before the storm hits. Because after the storm, when reality hits, that storm that you see has passed, everyone else is still shaken by it. That was hit hardcore. Think of this, a tornado just hit in Nashville, Tennessee a few weeks ago. Those people lost lives and houses. But then COVID-19 comes along and people forget about those individuals who just days before literally lost everything that they had. And then they were told to stay home because we were quarantined. But guess what? Staying home for them meant what? They had no home. I just want to encourage everyone to remember and think about the fact that we all come from different places and to value each other. But before the storm hits, let's build the shelter. Let's restore the holes in relationships. Let's be a community that can actually prevent more racial tension and division before we have to react to another tragedy, such as the one that has happened in Georgia. I pray that this blesses you guys, and I believe as long as Jesus is alive, there's hope, and this too will be conquered one day. My fear is I won't get to see that, nor my sons. You guys have a blessed day. See you tomorrow morning for our time in the Word.